Anger built up in me, and I wanted so badly to hit something. Fuck, I wanted him so bad and still do that I found my hand balling into a fist. I don't know if he was aware of what he had done. Does he know and choose to play ignorant, or does he truly have no idea? Either way, I plan on getting back at him. A smirk found its way to my face as I imagined his reaction when he got the taste of his own ordeal. Walking back into the chamber room, Darium was almost dressed and was doing the buttons on his shirt before putting on his royal robe and crown. He bends to peck my lips. "Your handmaids are waiting outside to get you ready," he informed me, taking a step back, and I stared at his retreating figure. I kept glaring at the door, even when Kiva and Gala stepped in. The two of them stared at me puzzled when the glare washed off my eyes and was replaced with a mischievous glint. "My lady, we are here to get you ready," Kiva said, going over to the wardrobe to get my dress for the day. I shook my head when she came with a blue gown that was elegant but showed less of my curves. Walking over to the wardrobe, my hand rested on my chin, trying to look for the perfect dress for what I had in mind, and a smile beamed on my face when I saw a beautiful red dress that revealed my cleavage. My breast popped up, showing the upper part of it. My hair was tied up, leaving my neck bare, and the dress hugged my body, aligning the curves on my hips. I wasn't sure why I had packed this dress during my trip here, but now I'm glad I did. I powdered my face, painting my lips red, before giving myself a final look in the mirror. Gala and Kiva gasped when I was done. Judging from their faces, I could tell that they were shocked and, at the same time, captivated by my look. "Lady Letitia," Kiva gasped. "Do you think it's wise to go out like that? I don't think the king would be able to keep his eyes off you, or any man for that matter." "I don't know about another man, Kiva." I smirked. "I'm just trying to get back at one," I say, making my way out of the room. Since I wasn't familiar with the palace, Kiva was the one who led the way. She was here a couple of times during Neetha's visit to the kingdom before she was assigned as my personal maid. We got to the front of the dining room, and the guards by the door both bowed, pulling it open. Ophelia was the first person to see me, and a smile graced her face before Darium and Andre broke off the conversation to turn towards the door. I forced myself to hide the grin that threatened to surface when I saw Darium's eyes widen. His gaze trails down my body before moving up, lingering on my chest as I sway my hip, walking closer to them. "Queen Letitia, you always manage to leave me stunned with your beauty." King Andre complimented me with a smile on his face, which I gladly reciprocated without glancing at Darium's. Even when he got up to pull out a seat beside him, I kept my focus on the king. "I'm flattered, Your Majesty. I doubt I look as beautiful and captivating as Ophelia." "I guess I'm blessed by the presence of two beautiful women." He laughed. "We might not have known each other for too long, but I would prefer it if you called me by name instead of my title. I believe we are close enough to be on first base." "I'm quite touched, Andre," I said, making him laugh while nodding his head. "Etl little bird, . Darium whispered beside me, but I pretended not to hear, turning to face Ophelia beside me. She has a grin on her face, and the glint in her eyes told me that she had a hint of what was going on. She leaned in to speak so that no one could hear her. "It seems like someone is in trouble." I shrugged, and she laughed. Breakfast commences immediately. Ophelia and I talk amongst each other, occasionally joining in on both kings' conservation. I could feel eyes on me the whole time, but I remained in character and refused to spare him even a glance. "The ball is 2 days from now, and your presence here is very well welcomed," kind Andre says, informing Darium and me. "I'm glad to be here," I replied. "Forgive my manners, as I forgot to congratulate you both on your union." "It's okay, your presence is more than enough," King Andre responded. "Thank you." "Etl little bird, why don't you have more vegetables?" Darium said, pushing the plate of vegetables towards me, and I nodded, taking a bite from it without saying anything. Even though I was angry at him, I still couldn't turn down his gesture, knowing he cared for my health and that of our baby. We finished with our breakfast in no time. I took Ophelia's hand, and we both started making our way to the door. I was very well aware of the heavy footsteps following behind us until a hand touched my elbow, halting my step. I turned around to see Darium standing behind me, his gaze on mine, before moving over to Ophelia. "Do you mind if I talk with Letitia for a moment?" He said this to Ophelia, and she bowed, making her way back to where her husband was. Darium took a hold of my hand in his, walking us out of the room to a different hallway until we got to what looked like a garden. He struggled to keep his eyes on my face even though I knew he wanted to look down, and I bit the side of my cheek to stop myself from chuckling. "What's going on?" he asked, running his hand through his hair. "Did I do something wrong?" I put on a confused look, acting all innocent. "No, why would you think that?" I asked with my brows creased together. "Did you do something wrong to make you think that way?" He sighs, staring deep into my eyes, like he was trying to read me and figure out what I was playing at, but since I had the perfect teacher as a husband, I managed to keep my face free from any emotions. "If you aren't angry at me, why did you keep ignoring me? We were fine an hour ago." "If I were actually angry at you and ignoring you, I wouldn't be standing here talking to you now, would I?" I said, trying to hide the sarcasm in my tone. His face was filled with confusion, and I knew he was struggling with whether to believe me or not. His eyes moved down to my chest and gulped before returning to my eyes. The lust in his eyes almost had me begging for him to take me, but no. I needed to be strong, so I exhaled slowly, putting on a smile. "I better get back to Ophelia, we have too many things to do." I raised my toe, pecking his lips before leaving the garden, swaying my hips, and I could feel his eyes burning into my skin from behind me. Making my way outside the palace, where Ophelia stood waiting beside the carriage, I collected the cloak from Gala and wore it on my dress before making my way into the carriage. I doubt King Svetoslavic would be able to concentrate much today. Ophelia mutters as we ride out of the palace on our way to the main town of Silvio. Ophelia showed me so many beautiful places that left me awed, and we spent the rest of the morning exploring the town. When we were done, we made our way to Zane Manor. Excitement filled me up at the thought of seeing Alvar, and I couldn't wait. "Mother!" Alvar screamed when he saw me racing towards him. His little legs ran as fast as they could carry him, and I slouched down, arms stretched out, catching him in my hold. "My baby!" I laughed, lifting him up, then spun him around while placing kisses on his cheek. Alvar and my laughter filled the room. We were like mother and son separated for years. "I missed you." "I miss you too, Mother." His words warmed my heart, and him calling me mother brought great joy to me. I might not have been the one to give birth to him, but the past few weeks we spent together in Nisha made us so closer to each other that I considered him my son. "Letitia." Zane greeted us, walking towards us. He was dressed gracefully, looking different than he usually does when he is in Nisha. Here he looked really noble. His manner was big and beautiful, like I expected it to be, with so many sculptures of different varieties. There was one of a man holding onto a woman that looked naked. "Zane. Welcome, it's nice to have you here." He beams. "I hope you are enjoying your stay here in Silvio." I laughed, nodding. "I have only been here for a day, but I must say these past few hours have been nothing but fun." Ophelia was so kind to show me around, taking me to her favorite places here. Zane's eyes shifted from me to the woman beside me, and his eyes widened, noticing her for the first time. "Queen Ophelia, I had no idea you were here. Forgive my rudeness." She smiles, shaking her head. "It's all right, Lord Zane." I turned my attention to Alvar in my hold, watching him as he played with my hair with a huge grin on his face. "I guess some things never change. Since I'm here, why don't we spend the rest of the day together? What do you say?" I asked Alvar, and he nodded eagerly in my arms. "My lady." Gala spoke from behind me, coming over to my side before whispering in my ear. "It's best if you put down the young master, the king won't like it, not in your condition." "Alvar isn't heavy, I don't mind carrying him." "My lady." Say says again, giving me a pleading look, and I sighed, dropping Alvar to his feet. I saw the disappointment on his face, making me scoop down to pick him up again. "My lady." "Just for a few minutes, when I get tired, I will let him down to his feet," I said to her, dismissing her words. Gala bows, returning to her position beside Kiva. Why don't you come in? Let me get you some refreshments, Zane says, ushering us into the manor. Ophelia and I walked side by side, admiring the well-structured design of Zane's manor. We both had our seats on the couch, with me putting Alver down on my lap. How has your stay been here in Silvio? Lord Zane has been teaching me a lot of things, Mother. I have schoolers assigned to me, and I recently started learning how to paint. He gushed, his eyes glittered with joy, and I knew he was really enjoying it here. I'm so happy for you. I pinched his cheek softly at how adorable he looked. Have you painted anything recently? He bobbed his head up and down excitedly. Alver has been doing exceptionally well and has a passion for painting, Zane added, and his eyes lit up like a proud father. Alver, dear, why don't you show Letitia some of your drawings? He asked, making the little boy on my lap jump down eagerly. His little legs raced up the stairs, heading towards what I assume was his room. He was really happy when he found out you were coming. I'm as happy as he is, I told him. I turned to look at Ophelia to find her sitting beside me awkwardly, probably not used to leaving her comfort zone. My attention didn't settle on her for too long when I heard light footsteps approaching from up the stairs, and Alver approached me with a white piece of paper in his hand. I beamed at him, running my fingers across his cheeks before taking the paper from him, and I gasped at how beautiful the drawing was. Surprised that someone his age could draw so well. It was a painting of the garden in Nisha, where we usually spend time together. The different flowers were drawn so delicately, without one out of place. It's truly remarkable, Alver. I praised him. You are a prodigy. His laughter filled the room, making the rest of us laugh as well. I turned the painting over to Ophelia, and she had her hand to her mouth to stop herself from gasping out loud. He is truly blessed, she says, taking the painting from my hands as she continues to inspect his drawing, singing him songs of praise, which made Alver grin from ear to ear at the compliments he was receiving. Ophelia and I returned back to the palace at night after spending the rest of the day with Alver, as I promised, with Ophelia loosening up a little. We all had a great time painting and playing silly games. Zane had also joined in on our fun but couldn't stay for long as he had other matters to attend to. Here in Silvio, he seemed a bit different, more mature. I guess he needs to, seeing as he had a lot of responsibility to shoulder. When I returned to my chamber, Darium wasn't there yet, which had me preparing for my next plan. I had Kiva and Gala assist me in my bath, using different scented flowers and oils that were enticing. After the bath, I dismissed Kiva and Gala before dressing in the skinniest nightwear, which showed a lot of my cleavage. Taking my seat in front of the mirror, I picked up the comb, brushing through my hair, leaving it down. The door twisted, pulling open as Darium walked in, and I carried on combing my hair, brushing it to my side so that my left shoulders were exposed. You are back, I said, turning back slightly to look at the king. Yes, it seems, he answered, looking short of words. It was hard to keep a straight face when I saw the lust dancing in his eyes as he took in my appearance. Wanting to give him a proper show, I rose to my feet, walking slyly towards him. My hands rested on his chest, moving my fingers down his body, and he sucked in a breath. Letitia, he says. His voice sounded breathless when my hand trailed down, grabbing his hardened member from his pants, giving it a squeeze, and he groaned. I retreated my hand, pulling him towards the direction of the bed before pushing him on it, and he fell flat down, not expecting it. He looked surprised at me, probably wondering what had come over me. Edlardi, why are you acting out of character? He asked while sitting up. Not that I'm complaining, but what are you up to? I shrugged in response, climbing onto him with my legs on either side of him. I wrapped my hands around his neck, bringing my lips towards his in a passionate kiss, and he wasted no time kissing me back with equal passion. His hand shoots up to gently grab my hair, and his tongue explores my mouth, causing the both of us to moan in pleasure. I began moving my hips, grinding them against his rising bulge in a slow, teasing circle motion.